Not a Google search, you need to get your head right. The Greek goddess of illusion was called Media, and I'm not a coincidence theorist. I look for thread lines, smashing every deadline. No longer smashing red wine, though I can hear the bells chime. It feels like the end times. That probably should have been smashed on red wine, but the carnal mind is foolish. Obey and end up ghoulish. Don't get used by instinct, take control and learn to use it. Make a load of earnest music, earn a few quid, learn a few tricks. Sure, the truth is persecuted, this whole world is pure abusive. Know a bit about everything and everything about nothing. Figured out my noggin while you picture out shopping. You sit about watching while I dish it out, stop it. I don't mean to sound cocky, I'm not even proud of it. It's a second itch to me just to be this out honest. I don't even need to sound honest, never been about profit. Everything but out on it, you can bet your house on it. Doubt I'll be out for the count when the sounds, and I'm down for the beat, no beat down. I mean, how long's it been? Help me out. I've been the only one who's held me down. All in the mind, hell freeze now. Still sick with it, healthy how? Few bars down and the world freaked out. I don't reach out, I seek out to speak out. I'ma recount the reasons they beat out. I am not the way, no way. I have seen the way. Yeah. Speak, repeat, there's no way.
Hello. Welcome to the 509 Divine Pines podcast. Your host, Joseph Daniel Penn. Thank you for coming along with me today. It has been a while since I've been on, but I've been doing good. I've been working, I've been grinding, I've been praying, I've been enlightening myself and getting myself focused on the meditation of God and the Word of God. And I'll be honest, guys, this year has not been the best. I mean, idealistically, I could have started this year off a whole lot harder, and I could have kept it rolling that way. But injuries and setbacks came along and throw me off a little bit. But when you follow the Word of God, you expect that, and I'm recovering, healing, and getting stronger every day from knee issue to root canal issue. Just like this year's been a bit of a wreck, but I'm doing great. Thank you guys for being here. Like, subscribe, share, tell everyone around that this is going down. Light up your joint and put that crack down. Okay, guys, pick yourself up because no one else will. And if you realize what's happening in the world, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's trying to bring you down. But enlightenment, love, wisdom, and strength will keep you going. Praise God. Praise God. Now, what I wanted to start off by doing is I want to reintroduce some of my Bible studies that I do. I sometimes would do the book of Isaiah and a couple other scriptures last year. And it was something that well, actually, was it earlier this year, last year? Within the last year, I've started it, and I just kind of fell away from it. And I think ever since I fell away from it, I haven't been me. And I would be lying to myself if I didn't say that I respected and believe in the Bible as one of the most historically accurate books to date in history, and it being profound with the words and the sounds and vibrations that get put out when you speak these things or believe in these things, pray in these things, and the goodness that comes along with it, the angels that come along with it, God that comes along with it is very, very bountiful and blessed. Well, thank you guys. I want you guys to go ahead and check out my sponsors over at naturalaction.com. Oh, naturalactiontech.com. I apologize. Go get yourself some water ionizers. All right, get them to go, get them for your house, get them in water droplets, whichever way you need. Get your body in H2O to a higher state. Use coupon code 509DP-30 over at naturalactiontech.com and thank me later. You will be supercharged. Yes, and while you're supercharged, go and look over at boomerboost.com and use coupon code Joe30 for 30% off your order for all the best supplements, nutrients, vitamins, and minerals that you can get. Literally, if you want to take your life to the next level, you got to put yourself on the next level. That's what I've been doing. Everybody's like, yo, man, you're rocking, dude. You're shining. Keep hustling. Keep grinding. People have been coming up to me in the last 3 years of the gym, like, dude, I want to be like you, yo, like you're an inspiration. But I did. I'm not even talking to anybody. I'm just in my own presence. I'm just doing my thing, praying to God, literally shining with the vibe of the Lord. I mean, these last few years have been interesting, guys, and I want you guys to go ahead and join me along with the supplements, nutrients, vitamins, water ionizers, and while you're at it, go visit Divine Light Codes for Sherry Ariano's healing methods of psionic healing, crystalline light healing. She has elixirs, malas, and bracelets, all sorts of spiritual tools. She sells frankincense and myrrh and little charcoal pads for protection kits. Get yourself spiritually grounded. You know, it's very important to understand your spirit and your enemies and what's going on around you. Um, Shariano can help you. She will heal you and get you right, get your mind right, or at least get your vibe right. Use coupon code 509 Divine Pines for 10% off your order and thank me later, guys. All right, here with the news and just well, news, the Book of Enoch, and a very important public post from a Mabton resident in my local Yakima County, Washington State, that Mabton is actually having some crazy water issues. A post just came to my attention that over the last 25 years, Mabton residents have been complaining about the water issues, and locals are like simply fed up with it. They've been having to buy water bottles, and they say their shower stinks beyond belief. To be honest, you just gotta pray. I mean, look at that happened in Flint, Michigan. They totally messed up the water. And you know what's crazy is that, like, all right, man, this Mapton place, it was the Washington State Capitol in the early 1900s before some mysterious fire took it all out. So they've been messing with the residents in these areas for a long time. This is the end of the Yakima tribal nation's land right here, and I believe it's like it goes down all the way over here, and that's one of their cities. If they take off the tail, then people can start creeping in. But you don't want that. Nobody wants that. And we really want Mapton to be healed, and we want this water crisis gone. So today, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and talk about a few things. And thank you guys for being here. I haven't been on the mic in a minute. I feel like I have so much to unleash, like spiritually, guys. Undoubtedly, the spirit of the Lord has been sending me in directions, man. No other way to say it. Let's go, guys. So, from the introduction of the Book of Enoch, this is a modern English translation written by Andy McCracken, with special thanks to Breeden Jason Nafali, who found this translation of the Ethiopian text in the SOAS library in the University of London. So, the introduction of this book says, I have based this book on Michael A. Nibb's scholarly translation of the Ethiopian manuscripts, the Ethiopic Book of Enoch, from the Oxford University Press, which I believe to be the best translation currently available. I first heard about the Book of Enoch a few years ago while I was researching into the end of days prophecies. When I finally managed to get a hold of the copy, I discovered that there was a very strange and unusual book. The first time I read it, I was skeptical and somewhat puzzled. I wondered who would have written an odd book like this. I knew that Enoch was very favorably mentioned in Genesis, and I discovered that Enoch's book described the Exodus and Moses very favorably. Enoch was also given authority to be up in heaven, and mm, he was told to have been turned into the angel Metatron, which is one of the greatest angels. He said he was so divine and so powerful that he was he was given authority to be neck literally like right by God, as one of the hierarchies. So my first theory is that what might have been written around the same time as the Torah, perhaps around 1400 BC, which is around 3,500 years ago, guys. However, after several readings, I could find no plausible theories. The prophecy of the animals is extremely precisely written and obviously refers to events well after Moses. Additionally, who would have dared to produce a book with people such as Moses described in terms of farms animals? Michael Knibb, whose translation I have used to produce this book, studied all available manuscripts and sources, and it is clear that this book was well known and studied in many countries well before the time of Jesus. The earliest known surviving fragments and quotations in various languages show that this is the same book and that the Ethiopians have preserved it well. In the end, I was convinced that this is really the book of Enoch's true account, otherwise forgotten events that occurred in early times, events that we have no other surviving records of. Enoch is the great grandfather of Noah, and so the time period in which this is describing is literally like after, my bad, before the flood, way before the flood. Enoch left us a book that describes people of an advanced culture, blonde-haired people that Enoch's people considered to be the angels of God, and it was written on the angels' instructions. The standard academic view seems to be that some slightly demented religious females, religious fanatic wrote the book. Sorry, not females. I apologize. Not long before the earliest provable fragments. I think it is impossible to support this view, such as an author would have to be able to write the entire book from the point of view of a person who knows nothing of countries with names or religions with names. Then he goes on to describe the angels as blonde men who ran away from heaven in order to be promiscuous with women. I don't believe this is sort of the worldview that would have been well received or widely accepted anywhere in 200 BC. This plus the all too accurate prophecies are probably the reason why it was lost by the religions that used to regard it as holy. I concluded that the book is probably what it appears to be: well preserved, ancient, and genuine. Enoch was the great grandfather of Noah and the father of Methuselah, and his book gives a unique view of the world before the flood, which may be around 1700 BC, so about 19,000 years ago. Now we are going to go into reading a little bit more about the book of Enoch and the history. The book was thought to have been lost for over 2,000 years, with many ancient sources referring to it and even quoting parts, but no complete copies were known. Then in 1773, James Bruce brought 3 copies back from Ethiopia, having spent many years exploring the country. Enoch had 2 main reasons for writing this book. The first was because the Watchers instructed him to do so. The second reason was to save his family from the flood. Enoch wrote this book after his grandson Lamech was born, but before Noah was born. Noah is only named in the section of Methuselah wrote, and of course his own section. So there may be 40 or 80 years left before the flood at the time when Enoch wrote this book. Oh, sorry. It's actually just barely before the flood. I apologize. There is a long gap between the time of the flood and the time when Moses gave praise to Enoch in Genesis. Genesis dates from around 1400 BC and forms part of the Torah, which are the first 5 books of the Bible. In Genesis, there is Enoch's family as named by him in this book and a quick recap of some of Enoch's stories. It seems likely, therefore, that copies of the book Enoch survived into Egyptian times, 3500 BC, and was known to Moses around 2,000 years later. Moses presumably took a copy of the book with him when they all left Egypt, and he was no doubt pleased to see Enoch's prophecy fulfilled. The book probably existed mainly in Hebrew during the 1,000 years after the Exodus. No Hebrew copies exist today. However, although there are some Hebrew passages quoted in some of the Aramaic fragments that survive from a few centuries before Christ, the appearance of the book in Ethiopia is probably due to the events in Jerusalem during the reign of King Manasseh of Judah, which are documented in the Bible at 2 Kings. King Manasseh was not of the Jewish faith. He erected altars to Baal and Asherah in Solomon's temple. In Kings at 2:16, it says that so much innocent blood was shed that filled whew, that it filled Jerusalem from end to end. At this time, the religious establishment left the country, taking the Ark of the Covenant and all the important religious texts with them. After a number of years in Egypt, the refugees went further south, near to the source of the Nile, Lake Tana in Ethiopia. The descendants of these people were the Falashas, who even today follow the form of Judaism that has been practiced in Israel only before 620 BC. The Ethiopians translated the book of Hanukkah into Giz, which is the book of Enoch, and had enough respect to look after it. Meanwhile, all Hebrew versions disappeared, but a substantial part of the book had survived in Greek and some parts in Aramaic. But until Scottish traveler and Freemason James Bruce returned from Ethiopia in 1773 with 3 manuscripts, no one in the West had ever seen the whole book. The 2 commonly available translations were done soon after this, and the book was received by an embarrassed silence for the most part and not widely read. The book is based on a new translation and published in 1978, which was produced as a result of research into a large number of Ethiopian manuscripts and a review of all other surviving fragments. My hope is that this present edition will be the best version of Enoch's book available in English. So, let us get on with the book of Enoch. So, the notes for chapter 1. This section is Enoch's introduction to the book. At 1 to 2, he explains how the angels, watchers, showed him a vision of the future. At 1.5, well, chapter 1, verse 5, the watchers are mentioned here. Enoch means the runaway rebel watchers who came to live in this area. In the Bible, Genesis chapter 6, verse 4, the descendants of the watchers are described as giants and Nephilim, that they have may been bigger than the local people. Enoch describes them as giants. Andrew Collins investigates. What? Wow, Andrew Collins is mentioning this, and he is banned from Turkey for mentioning how biblical the ancient past of Turkey and Göbekli Tepe is. So, in Genesis 7.2, so verse 2, Andrew Collins' investigation suggests that a race of unusually large people did once exist. This is from the Book of the Ashes of Angels, which is very, very bad. I mean, well, it's I don't know if it's like really actually bad, but like people don't like the mainstream doesn't like anything that this guy writes. How about that? If you guys want to follow something, follow Andrew Collins a little bit in the story that's happening there. The main theme of the book, or the main theme of this, is destruction. God is going to clear away the sinners so that good people can have peace. This is the flood of Noah, which was still the way off when Enoch wrote the book, although there are details of a second end later in the book. I just want to thank you guys for being here. Like, subscribe, share, and let us get on to the blessings of Enoch. These are the words of the blessing of Enoch, according to which he blessed the chosen and the righteous, who must be present on the day of distress, which is appointed for the removal of all wicked and impious. And Enoch began his story and said, There was a righteous man whose eyes were opened by the Lord, and he saw a holy vision in the heavens, which the angels showed him. And I heard everything from them, and I understood what I saw, but not for this generation, but for a distant generation that will come. Concerning the chosen I spoke, and I uttered a parable concerning them. The holy and the great one will come out of his dwelling, and the eternal God will tread from there upon Mount Sinai, and he will appear with his host, and he will appear in the strength of his power from heaven, and all will be afraid, and the watchers will shake, and fear and great trembling will seize them up to the ends of the earth, and the high mountains will be shaken, and the high hills will be laid low, and will melt like wax in a flame. And the earth will sink, and everything that is on the earth will be destroyed, and there will be judgment upon all, and upon the righteous. But for the righteous he will make peace, he will keep safe the chosen, and mercy will be upon them. They will all belong to God and will prosper and be blessed. the light of God will shine upon them. And behold, he comes with 10,000 holy ones to execute judgment upon them and destroy the impious, to contend with all the flesh concerning everything that the sinners and impious have done and wrought against them. And that is the end of chapter 2, or chapter 1. So it says, according to the blessing of Enoch, according to which he blessed the chosen and righteous, who must be present on the day of distress, which is appointed for the removal of all wicked and impious. And he is talking about the 10,000 comes with. They come to clear out the sinners. They come as angels. They come as people. They come as helpers. And, I'm just going to say it. I don't know how many people really understand this or believe it, but a lot of native tribes and cultures and, you know, tribals, spiritualists out there have been talking about the children of the light, children of God, the rainbow children, the indigo children, the crystal children. And it's kind of all the same thing, that people are prophesizing that a great amount of souls will just birth into earth at one time and help shake the earth. And you know that's time and time again, that if we see something out there that says that this Hollywood society is trying to go ahead and summon dark spirits, well, you can bet that they're only trying to do that because God and the good souls of the world want to come help. And so, there has to be whether we call it a summoning or a happening or a floodgate of spirituality. But the it says right here, concerning the chosen I spoke, I uttered a parable concerning them. The holy and great one will come out of his dwelling, and the eternal God will tread there from upon Mount Sinai, and he will appear with his host, and will appear in the strength of his power from heaven, and all will be afraid, and the watchers will shake, and the fear and great trembling will seize them up to the ends of the earth, and the high mountains will be shaken, and the high hills will be laid low, and will melt like wax in flame. And the earth will sink, and everything that is upon the earth will be destroyed, and there will be judgment upon all and upon the righteous. So, imagine that this is the actual time of the flood, right? And it's foretelling the earth will sink. That's also how everything can flood. If let's just say the land sink, guess what? The waters come in from everywhere, right? Right? I'm just saying hypotheticals. Well, what it could mean. Now, this is all just food for thought. This is something to you to take to your spirit and take home and understand that what the Bible might be trying to get through to you, right? I mean, this God before us will be blessing the true believers, because it says right here, but for the righteous he will make peace, and he will keep safe the chosen, and mercy will be upon them. They will all belong to God and will prosper and be blessed, and the light of God will shine upon them. So time and time again, the Bible states that God will come like a flash, right? And he will destroy the sinners, and he will bless the righteous. He will destroy the doubters and the evil ones, and he will bless the lovers, bless the light ones. And that is it for chapter 1 of the book of Enoch. I will continue chapter 2 tomorrow. Now, stay tuned, guys. So let's go on. What we will do today is continue on with the news. But before I finish, just say a quick prayer, guys. Thank you, God, for everything, for what you have done, for what you are bringing, for what has yet to come. Allow us grace, mercy, love, and wisdom till the end of days. Amen. Now, this is serious. So look at this. This is from Christian Ariel Carrasco. This is about Mabton. Hello, friends and family. I would love to get some help and make this a more public post and bring some media attention on the water crisis that has been going on in Mabton, Washington. I would love to personally call out Governor Inslee on his lack of help throughout this crisis that has been here for many years, nearly 25 years, they say. As our governor, you should have stepped up and helped this town out by now, and yet the residents of Mabton still have to modify their lives to get the essential water that they are, they should be granted. I would personally request that you come to Mapton and drink the water. The problem is that many residents say the city's water has had a foul and rotten egg smell for weeks. Many are now buying bottled water from stores in neighboring towns. Mapton has about 15 to 1900 residents. I think it says 1900, sorry. Mapton has over 98% Hispanic population located in the Yakima Valley in Washington State. So that's a huge population, 98% Hispanic, and it's not getting any love. Now, from the experts, Bennett Osborne, a private contractor for the Valley Water Services and system operator for Mapton City Water, Osborne said he first learned the taste and the color issues on July 13th after the complaint to the Yakima Health District. He said those issues did not pose health risks and there have been no sign of contamination. Remember, taste and odor problems are not hazardous. Wow. Yeah. You know what? That Osborne said that, and I cannot believe that. Post goes on to say, you tried drinking this water, Mr. Osborne. Next, it says, Janin Ankney, an engineer who works with the city through Gray and Osborne, discussed the water issues. Acme is an engineer and project manager with Gray and Osborne, the engineering firm that works with the city on infrastructure projects. He said 2 new wells 7 and 8, are already in the works. Drilling will begin next month. The wells will be 155 feet deep and access a new aquifer with water rights the city acquired in 2017. Acme said that those wells will give the city a large water source to potentially help address the taste and color issue. The wells will likely allow some dilution and help solve some taste and odor issues. In an interview on July 21st, Acme said the new wells could help, but it was difficult to predict. Now, this is not a guarantee. So, from the residents themselves, they spend about $60 to $70 a month on bottled water now, in addition to nearly $300 every month for the city utility bill, which is also including sewer and garbage. Residents reported that bottled water is being used to brush their teeth and said showers leave them smelling worse than when they went in. Mapton residents are very mad. Residents have stated using tap water for cooking has caused stomach pain and diarrhea, preventing them from go to work for 3 days. You can taste it. You can smell it. If I use that water for cooking, I would get stomach cramps. I beg everyone that sees this post to please help by sharing this post in hopes that Governor Gay J. Inslee hopefully sees it and reaches out to Mapton Mayor and Council for support. I apologize for calling him gay. I did not mean it. Look, man, I don't even know if he's gay, but all I'm saying is this guy is devil, man. I'm so glad Jay Inslee is getting out of office. My God, Lord forgive me. The least he could do is provide free water to the Mapton residents until this issue is resolved. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Mapton is such a special town, and the hardworking people of Mapton deserve better. Well, guys, you guys heard that. Pray for Mapton, because that happened to Flint, Michigan, and many other places out here in the world. And we're just taking toll, taking damage. Next up, guys. Oh, excuse me. So Elon Musk biographer changed a major detail about how the SpaceX CEO stopped Ukraine sinking a chunk of the Russian Navy. So Elon Musk recently has been under fire for being exposed that he stopped a major war front in Ukraine and Russia, and he stopped probably a nuclear war because of how detrimental the area was that he had stopped. It was in Crimea. And, the military was using SpaceX and the Starlink satellites and all that. And, well, Elon Musk got a hold of it and I guess saw some unusual activity that may have been highly alarming. And so instead of like destroying shit, all he did was cut off the satellites communications. And so all he did was pretty much turn off the power on them. And he's like, you know what? I'm not going to allow this. And people are actually calling him like very bad things. I mean, I've been all over the fence with Elon, calling him good and bad. But I mean, at some point though, I don't think it's right that these leftists are saying that he should have went to nuclear war. Like they're literally calling for war through him, and it's crazy that Elon Musk is it's you would think that he's part of the system, but dude, he's definitely taken so many shots at the system that it's kind of like he's not, he really doesn't look like he's a part of the system. It looks like he's his own freelance billionaire, and he he isn't afraid to take his own stand. Now, Elon Musk, fearing a nuclear war, secretly told his engineers to turn off coverage within 100 kilometers of the Crimean coast, which foiled the attacks as the drones lost connectivity. So, um, yeah, Elon Musk is kind of doing some good work over there. He kind of feels bad probably, and I know he was really pissed off that Starlink was even being used for military operations. He admitted last year, he's like, I don't want this. He's like, this shit was built for Netflix. This was built to go kick it with your friends and hang out and just get, internet everywhere. I don't want to use it for war and killing and stuff. That was his prerogative. Next up, though, guys, here's something interesting to think about. U.S. military's $150 million F-35 jet is flying without a pilot. The pilot ejected, and supposedly this jet is going on autopilot. So they're admitting that these jets can run on autopilot. And what's fascinating is that 9/11 had just came up. Well, if you didn't know, this autopilot system has been around for a long time. Now, it is called the Honeywell Boeing system. It is a autopilot system that has been in the works for the last 20 years. Now, what's fascinating is that people are speculating that this is the same technology that had been used for the towers. Now, holy smoly, I said it was 20 years old. I think that this right here, this talks about 40 years old. It says Honeywell's legendary Boeing 757. Interesting. Well, I mean, over the last 40 years, I guess this has been a project. 20 years ago, it definitely got perfected, this Honeywell autopilot Boeing system. And there's been many pilots out there. I know I'm going off into some other space, but look, there's been pilots for decades talking about how the plane crash that hit the Pentagon was not humanly possible. Like there was no way that anyone could have done it, and there's no way that it was possible without a robot, without the Honeywell autopilot system. And I just showed you this jet. This jet is flying at freaking Mach speed, dude. And yeah, it's good. I mean, it's driving itself, guys. Doing this. Now we're gonna go ahead and speed through some articles. So here's some science news. Making hydrogen from waste plastic could pay for itself. Graphene byproducts offsets flash hydrogen production costs. Researchers have found a way to harvest hydrogen from plastic waste using low emission methods that generate graphene as a byproduct, which could help offset production costs. Hydrogen is viewed as a promising alternative to fossil fuel, but the methods used to make it either generate too much carbon dioxide or are too expensive. Rice University researchers have found a way to harvest hydrogen from plastic waste using low emission method that could more than pay for itself. That is from Rice University. Next up, from the City University of Hong Kong, a research team has achieved a groundbreaking advancement in nanomaterials by successfully developing a highly efficient electrocatalyst which can enhance the generation of hydrogen significantly through the electrochemical water splitting. This major breakthrough has great application potential for clean energy industry. An international team led by the City University of Hong Kong has announced a groundbreaking step that has added significantly to the technical know-how required to clean the planet. Jesus. So this hydrogen generated by electrocatalytic water splitting is regarded as one of the most promising clean energies for replacing fossil fuels in the near future, reducing environmental pollution and the greenhouse effect. Great. We're using our resources. Like water is one of the most abundant resources in the world. So yeah, might as well use it. Next up, from the Vienna University of Technology. Researchers discover excellent thermoelectric properties of nickel gold alloys, which can be used to efficiently convert heat into electrical energy. Thermoelectrics enable the direct conversion of heat into electrical energy and vice versa. This makes them interesting for a range of technological applications. In the search for thermoelectric materials with the best possible properties, a research team at the TU Wien investigated various metal alloys. A mixture of nickel and gold proved particularly promising. This is great. The better we can have electricity run and the better our properties of our chemicals can operate, the better life gets. Now, here is the next from the University of Washington. Battery free robots use origami to change shape in midair. Researchers have developed small robotic devices that can change how they move through the air by snapping into a folded position during their descent. Each device has an onboard battery free actuator, a solar power harvesting circuit, and controller to trigger these shapes changes in midair. Wow, it's kind of trippy. So it just said it can use battery-free robots and use origami to change shape midair. So like if let's just say it gets put in your body, it can like just change and morph in your body. But yeah, that's a wild thought. I mean, these robots are now becoming like literally independent on their own. They can do whatever. Another article next up. Genetically modified bacteria break down plastics in salt water. From the North Carolina State University, researchers have genetically engineered a marine microorganism to break down plastic in salt water. Specifically, the modified organism can break down polyethylene terephthalate, a plastic used in everything from water bottles to clothing that is a significant contributor to microplastic pollutions in oceans. Researchers have genetically engineered a marine organism. Specifically, the modern organism can be used in everything from water bottles to clothing. Oh yeah. Yeah, heck yeah. Okay. This this is great. Destroy the plastic, break it down, please. Get it out of here. Take it all away. Next up, it says from here the cell press. So no idea where the cell press is, but more importantly, now I found it. The Guangzhou Institute of Biomedicine and Health. Researchers have successfully created chimeric embryos containing a combination of human and pig cells. You heard that right. From China, they have created a chimeric embryo containing human and pig cells. Researchers grow embryonic humanized kidneys inside pigs for 28 days. This is demonic. This is sick, but it is from China, so oh my gosh, unbelievable. Well, when transferred into surrogate pig mothers, the developing humanized kidneys had normal structures and tubule formation after 28 days. This is the first time that scientists have been able to grow a solid humanized organ inside another species, though previous studies have used similar methods to generate tissues such as blood or skeletal muscles in pigs. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say about this. This is gross. I mean, I don't know how it'd feel if like they did this backward. Yeah, I mean, like if they just put pig lungs in us, put pig lungs in humans, or imagine you go to the local carnival and they have like human pigs. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Now, there's 3 articles from Antarctica. I'm not going to get into them a whole lot. I'm just going to go ahead and brush by them. So this might all be for happening. Says sexual harassment and assault plague United States research bases in Antarctica, but it is not only them; it is also Australia. So I think about half of the Antarctic program is being canceled. In the report survey, 72% of female respondents agreed that sexual harassment was a problem. Just under half agreed that sexual assault was a problem. Among male employees responding to the survey, about half and a third, respectively, agreed that harassment and assault were problems. Every woman I knew down there had an assault or harassment experience that occurred on ice. Uh, Although incidents involving female victims were much more frequent and severe. Now, I had on Eric Hecker, who said he worked on the Australian direct energy weapon sites, the neutrino reactor, I believe, and which is a direct energy weapon. And he said that his time there, I'm not quoting him exactly, but it made him go a little wild because, like, what exactly was going on there in Antarctica? He can't talk about it, but I mean, like, he could kind of say things. And what he did say is that, like, yeah, it left him a little bit traumatized. It left him under like this, like, this. It's just too much. Like when you know too much information and when too much sin and too much darkness is happening around you, and you're not part of it, and you don't want it, and you don't like it. Yeah, bad things are gonna happen. Like or at least you're psychologically gonna be a little bit, tempered. You're gonna be tested, right? Um. Wow. So moving forward, it says also right here, China appears to be wrapping up construction on its new Antarctic station. It says in other places that this might be one of the biggest and significant upgrades, and something that all of us in the world should watch because, well, what do they want? The new Chinese site could be used to strengthen intelligence operations and a center for strategic and international studies, and it could be used for war. So the the move to the Arctic from China is also a correlative move with Russia to exploit potential new shipping routes freed up by melting sea ice. So China and Russia are trying to take over Antarctic and the Arctic, and it's purely strategic. It will be conducted to enhancing human scientific knowledge of Antarctica, providing a platform for cooperation between China and other countries in Antarctic scientific research, and promoting Antarctic peace and sustainable development. Huh. Yeah, it sounds pretty shady. Now, another post: drone fleets and autonomous vehicles were added to the Antarctic research program. Well, because of the Chinese and Russian activity. So America is throwing a whole bunch of money, a whole bunch of helicopters and all sorts of things. Um, All right. So the NIH is asking all foreign doctors and scientists to share their notes and studies with the NIH anytime that the NIH gets involved. So they want to just be able to see like the peer reviewed studies and the actual documentation from other countries because like I guess it's better to be safe with some of these things. I'm not too sure exactly how you want to look at this. Um, I mean, the NIH is pretty bad, but at the same time, it's like you do want to know what the other doctors are at least like proving their research on and proving their data on, especially if they don't come from the same corporatized, industrialized nation that we do. Um, well, there is a new inverse vaccine that could help tame autoimmune diseases. And so what they mean by inverse vaccine, I don't know. I think it's they're putting a oh no, sorry. I says added sugars to molecules could help treat multiple sclerosis. A new type of vaccine developed by researchers at the University of Chicago's Pritzker School of Molecular Engineering has shown in the lab setting that it can completely reverse autoimmune diseases like multiple sclerosis and type 1 diabetes, all without shutting down the rest of the immune system. A typical vaccine teaches the human immune system to recognize a virus or bacteria as an enemy that should be attacked. The new inverse vaccine does just the opposite. It removes the immune system's memory of one's molecule. While such immune memory erasure could be unwanted for infectious diseases, it could stop autoimmune reactions like those seen in multiple sclerosis, type 1 diabetes, or rheumatoid arthritis, which is the immune system attacks the person's healthy tissues. The inverse vaccine takes advantage of how the liver naturally marks molecules from the broken down cells with do not attack flags to prevent autoimmune reactions to cells that die by natural processes. Hmm. I've never heard of this inverse vaccine, but this is interesting. Very interesting. We're gonna have to go ahead and keep an eye out on this technology. Next up, Toyota factories grind to a halt after its servers run out of disk space. And this is the problem with keeping everything online, or, I'm not even sure if, like, if this is physical, because I mean, you would imagine that if it's physical, you can keep track of it easier. And maybe the online systems this are glitchy sometimes, but who knows? All we know is Toyota's Japanese factories were shut down to a malfunction of not having enough space to, I guess, record the data. Just what a rookie move! You wouldn't imagine this from Toyota, but this is just a big sign of what's to come. If everything is running on internet and running on computers, and EMP goes and clears all that out, well, like we have no technology, we have nothing. Next up, the Hollywood Reporter, Jimmy Fallon apologizes to Tonight Show staff following toxic workplace accusations. And I just want to go ahead and say Jimmy Fallon is a devil, and so you're not surprised by this. He's one of the devils of Hollywood. Now, speaking of, it was 9/11 just like a week or two ago, or a week ago. And it's interesting because I have these articles about how, the U.S. was falsely put into the Iraq war. Now, what's interesting too is this from the defense.gov. They have about the great ziggurat and how it was built as a place of worship dedicated to the moon god Nana in the Sumerian city of Ur in ancient Mesopotamia. Today, after more than 4,000 years, the ziggurat is still well preserved in large parts of the only major remainder of Ur in present day southern Iraq. And that is where we went. We went to Iraq for weapons of mass destruction. But it wasn't really that. It was only for ancient technology like these things and what it can provide. Um, you know, Vice did a interesting article saying there are people who think the West invaded Iraq over Stargate, and it's true though. I mean, it was our dude the defense.gov post I just showed you. Yeah, that's what they said. It was a Stargate being used in the I don't know for the temple of the moon goddess or something, right? Very interesting. Um, we went over there to steal the opium, the hash, the cannabis, to steal the hidden technology. Pretty bad. A lot of the soldiers of Iraq that came back from war after 4 years were like, nobody did anything. 95% of the soldiers didn't do anything, and it was a complete waste of time. And you'd imagine that if like all of this were real about them actually being our enemies, they wouldn't think it's a waste of time, but it was. It was they weren't our enemies. It was just a guinea pig, the scapegoat. Now, for the last article, Mexican Congress holds hearings on the UFOs featuring purported alien bodies. The two tiny bodies displayed in cases have 3 fingers in each hand and elongated heads. Masawan said that they were recovered in Peru near the ancient Nazca Lines in 2017. He said that they were about 1,000 years old, analyzed through a carbon dating process in Mexico's National Autonomous University. Similar such finds in the past have turned out to be the remains of mummified children, but I don't know about this, man. This looks crazy. This is it. This is a picture of what both of them look like, and it kind of looks like ET. And if you hear Steven Spielberg and his relations with the paranormal and aliens, I'm wondering how accurate maybe Steven Spielberg was being when he made that movie ET. Now, what if they all do look like this and people would not be ready for it? I'll be honest, people would not be ready for this. They'll trip out. I mean, modern mainstream, right? Mainstream be like, oh no, this is too much. But yes, recently Mexico has came out with their alien studies, and 2 bodies like this were found. All right, guys. Last up, South Bay Lab unveils world's most powerful X-ray. What an interesting time to release this. Right after everyone's saying that Maui, very interesting. So this was imagine LCLS is a giant microscope, and now with part 2, we have about 10,000 times the light. Jeez. So, oh yeah, this is awesome. Psych. I mean, just all the damage that they could do with these type of things, dude. It's unbelievable. Why do we need an X-ray machine this bad? Like the world's most powerful X-ray laser to what? Like freaking blast a hole through Jupiter to see who's on Jupiter or something? Jeez. This is this is it, guys. I just wanted to go ahead and run this by you guys. This is a brand new article, and yeah, what a coincidental time to talk about direct energy weapons over in Maui, right? Thank you guys for being here. Let oh look, it says Ghetto Bedroom Records. What's up, dude? What's up, Was? How you doing, Brandon? Thank you for being here, guys. Like, subscribe, share, and I did it. I did this episode quicker because I figured you know, I'd hit a better note if I ran these episodes quicker. Remember, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Sweetly Morbid Bear. Ooh, thank you for being here. God bless you, and God bless you, Brandon. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I will be back, and I will keep on running these episodes. I've just needed to find myself a little deeper in life, and I think I've been out of tune. The devil tried to throw me off, but God brought me back, and thank you guys for coming back. Last but not least, guys, I want to say go home every day with your brightest attitude after work. Go to work every day with your best strength from home, and go to bed with God in your heart, God in your mind, and the love that you could provide for the world. Every day, take a stand, take a new direction, learn something new, and really ask yourself every day where you want to go. Because if you don't know where you want to go, guess what? The devil will lead you, America will lead you. As we know, the saying goes, if you do not stand for anything, you will fall for anything. Or I apologize. If you do not stand for something, you will fall for anything. And you can see it these days. People are just playing music all up in the radio. They're like, "Oh, it's just music," and they're not taking a stand. They're not really actually listening and being like, "I like this shit." No, like people are just going to the club and like, "Well, this is what society likes," right? They're not standing up for what they like. They're just being part of the system. You will fall for anything. The devil's tricks, the deceitful ways. Do not be tricked. Do not be swayed. For when Christ or God is in your heart, you can see the light through the dark. And the poetry is coming out of me lately because I've been soul searching. I've been praying, and I feel the hand of God blessing me, and I just want to give it back to you guys. Go visit eagle-research.com for 20% off your electrolyzers made by George Wiseman. He can turn your water into Brown's gas, which is a high chemicalized form of water, and yeah, 100% water, 100% clean. These are brand new technologies that are coming out, already found in other countries that are technologically advanced. Like, you could probably find Saudi Arabia, Japan, China, Russia, these nations that have great technology. Yes, the good comes with the bad for that, but this is the good. I'm giving it back to you guys. Go visit eagle-research.com. Use coupon code 509 Divine Pines for 20% off your order. And I appreciate you guys. Sweet Morbid Bear says amen and amen indeed. God bless. God be with you guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow. This is a quick 47-minute episode, 48 minutes episode. You guys can share this out and get these pieces of information out. Get some wisdom inside your friends and family, because we all need to be together. Thank you guys. Be blessed. Be high. See you guys next time on the 509 Divine Pines podcast. Peace. I love you guys.
Meditating, analyzing everything I see, so I see new horizons. Took the acid, feeling blasted in my brain, so I've been sitting up inside it, thinking about the present and the future. I'm improving cause I am a trooper, never getting caught up in the loop. Got up out it cause I found the truth. Woke up to a beauty of the day, the sun is shining, so I'm finna stay. Sitting, soaking up all of the rays, till I feel it surging through my brain like some booger sugar. Did a lot of cane, experimented with it, couldn't name all the times I did it, feeling like a fade. Yeah, I'm really glad that I let it go, cause I gotta be prepped for the time when the plane ride is a new norm. So I know I'm gonna stay high, blaze on the ganja, feeling like I make my music go to another level while I take off. I can't ever stop this.
Oh yeah, guys, I just want to say before I close out, I'm having an emergency. I mean, this is kind of like an emergency. I'm getting an eye surgery planned here in about a month to 6 weeks or something like that, and it's gonna cost me $15,000, and I'm literally stressing. And all the donations will mean the world to me. Down below, you can check out my Cash App at 519 Divine Pines. Ask me or it's 519 Divine Pines for my PayPal, I think. Or just ask me, or buy me a coffee. My link's down there. Any way that you want to support, I would love it. And yeah, go. Literally, I don't mean to just say it, but show support for people around. You know what I mean? Whether just for sharing it or dropping $1, just hey, this is a value for value show. I'm giving out my time and my information, my love to you guys, and all I ask is for some love back. I'm not demanding it, but hey, God be with you and God be with me. Together, we will make a great nation. Peace. Love you guys.
Meditating, analyzing everything I see, so I see new horizons. Took the acid, feeling blasted in my brain, so I've been sitting up inside it, thinking about the present and the future. I'm improving cause I am a trooper, never getting caught up in the loop. Got up out it cause I found the truth. Woke up to a beauty of the day, yeah, the sun is shining, so I'm finna stay sitting, soaking up all of the rays, till I feel it surging through my brain like some booger sugar. Did a lot of cane, experimented with it, couldn't name all the times I did it, feeling like a fade. Yeah, I'm really glad that I let it go, cause I gotta be prepped for the time when the plane ride is a new norm. So I know I'm gonna stay high, blaze on the ganja, feeling like I make my music go to another level while I take off. I can't ever stop this, fell in love with it, fit like a glove, so I'm never ever done with it. So now I'm about to rip another beat, ayy. One day I'll make $1 million in a week, yeah, shooting for the top spot. Feel like I'm a hot shot, like I really got a chance with it. I will not flop, somebody gonna make it dance when I pop off. Gonna have all the bitches taking all the tops off. I've been feeling like I'm really gonna kill it for the rest of my life, so I've been staying focused. In my soul, I've been feeling like $1 million, so I know that everything is really getting closer. Yeah, no posers, only been hanging with the ones I've chosen. Only all the people that are living in the right way, cause they spending every day growing. Yeah, no whole shit coming in my life and then leaving in a moment. That's the shit I'll never let into my life again, cause lately I've been feeling like I'm golden. Never showboat, I just showcase on my music that I made this far. Always knew that I could be the one that would get this far. Now I'm right here looking in my mirror, trying to figure out if there's any more fear, cause I'm getting rid of it all, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting rid of it all. Meditating, analyzing everything I see, so I see new horizons. Took the acid, feeling blasted in my brain, so I've been sitting up inside it, thinking about the present and the future.